Okay, we are live. I just have to pause YouTube. 1 second here. Come on, YouTube. There we go. Okay, we are live. And we already have 5 people in the chat. Hello there. Hello, hello. Today we have Josh Bender from Interface Death here. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
There's not a delay, is there?
I'm not sure. I mean, I answered as soon as you asked. So
Okay, so I guess we are all good then. We are all good. Who's that guy? Who's Drunken Oracle, Josh?
that would be Christy. Oh, I see it there.
Christy.
Mm-hmm. I can't pronounce her last name.
Oh. Hello, Drunken Oracle. Hello, everybody else in the chat. Like I said, we have Josh Bender here today. He is a member of Interface Death, and he has been a member with them since 2017. And he makes custom deadlights, which are amazing. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your deadlights.
Sure. Well, what do you want to know? You want to know how it started, or?
Sure, that sounds great. Yeah.
All right. So basically, before I met Justin, of course, I was always tinkering with things, taking things apart, modifying things, and stuff like that. I started messing with my own IR lights, and I had met Justin from a podcast that I used to have, and he was a guest on the show, and we just stayed connected even after the show, and would talk back and forth about the paranormal and different things, sports, stuff like that. And he had a a camera that had a wide angle lens, and all of the lights that he had a problem with filling that whole view of the camera. So what we ended up doing was coming up with a light that would eventually fill that whole view, even with the wide angle lens. And since when I built the first one for him, and I was meeting up with him at Higginsport School in Ohio to do some drone footage for him for a documentary that he had filmed there, and was able to get the light finished and show him the light so that he could test it out. And I told him, if it worked well, and before that, he really liked the light and it worked really well. And he told me that I should start selling them. So I told him, since, he helped with the design of that, of that light, that, that he could name it, and he named it the Necro. And that was how the Necro was born. I know those are the larger lights that I build, and those are all handmade. They're all made from scratch. They actually all start out as one of these, and ends up looking like one of these.
Oh, nice. So, right on.
This is one of the models of the Necro. This is the Night Shot. But after we established that, I started the company and needed a name, so he helped out with the naming the company, and he came up with Deadlight. And where that came from was the movie It. Pennywise's original form is called the Deadlight, and that's where that
Oh,
came from.
wow.
So that's how
That's
Deadlight
cool.
was
Right
born,
on.
and that also started in 2017. So it's been 5 years now, building lights and doing the whole business. So
Is it difficult to make them, like strenuous or time consuming to
time
make them?
consuming. It's time consuming because
Very
everything's,
time consuming?
yeah, especially if there's a custom order. I have some custom features that I offer. There's, some people will ask for to have their logo on the light somewhere. So I offered that. I can do different colors. There's some features that I charge extra for, like the hydro dip, where I actually dip it in paint instead of
Oh
spraying
yeah.
it. And there's also pathway lighting. I charge extra for the pathway lighting. Um,
Hmm.
Normally changing the color, if I already have the color here, then I don't charge. I usually don't charge extra for that, even though it's extra. There's extra steps in prep and actually doing that than just spraying it black like I normally do. The hydro dip, it's $20, and you can pick up to 3 colors, so you can do two or 3 colors to dip it in. But there's quite a few extra steps and a lot of prep involved in getting those to turn out the right way. Um, as far as the other stuff, some of the custom features, if they want their logo on it, normally I can do it. It is a little bit of extra prep, but it's not too bad. I'm usually able uh, to do that pretty quick. But it's still, building the necros is still it can be a long process. Normally I'm building multiple at one time. Usually I have other projects going on at the same time too. So um, I get behind on orders, but I have to kind of fit everything in. So while I'm building, I'm also designing and working on other stuff as well. But normally, the building and getting the orders out uh, is priority over the design part of it.
Sorry, I was just trying to put up the your Deadlight link in here, and it didn't want to cooperate with me for some reason. I don't know why. Let's try this again. Well, maybe I have to go to it.
Darren Smith is on there.
Yes, I see Darren is here and Joe is here. I've got some few other people in here. We've got 9 in the chat. That's pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, Joe says that he's seen those hydro dip lights. He says they're freaking sick.
Joe is an early customer of mine. That's how
Nice.
I believe it's how I kind of met Joe. Not necessarily in person, but when he ordered, and then we became friends after that. And then met up a couple times at a couple different locations.
Cool. Okay, there is the link for your Deadlight on Facebook. It cooperated with me that time. I'm just waiting to see it. There's a bit of a delay between StreamYard and YouTube. Oh, Jessica is in the chat.
And
So
I
to
have no idea
ask
what
you
she's
about the
talking about.
turtle and the night shot.
I I have no idea what she's
What's
talking
the
about.
turtle and the night shot?
She's gonna have to tell it, I guess, because I don't know what she's talking about. Remind me.
Sounds interesting, whatever it is.
I don't.
You don't remember?
No, not at all.
Okay, you'll have to
No, I don't
enlighten
know.
us, Jess. Oh, other people want to hear it now too.
Yeah, I know. I never thought.
She says you're shy. She says, "Come on, Josh."
No, I really don't have any idea what she's talking about. She's probably messing with me, and I'm surprised that
That's
she
possible
started messing
too.
with me before Joe did and Matt. I'm waiting for Joe to start. Joe's starting to. There it is. There it is, Joe.
Oh, Nickelback. Here
That's
we
it.
go.
Yep. There it
Did I
is.
not say that
Yep.
backstage? Yep.
Yep. And
Yep.
what did I say whenever you had Matt on? Each time that Joe mentions Nickelback, it delays Matt's light for his helmet.
I'm just waiting for Matt to show up and see that and go, no.
Yeah. Yeah, he won't be happy. I'll message him if he doesn't hear about it. Say, hey, I got to delay your light again because Joe mentioned Nickelback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe does it on
Well, we're
purpose just to
still
keep Matt
waiting.
on his toes.
Well, we're still waiting for Jess to enlighten us with this turtle and night shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Message me, Jess. Let me know.
It's
I
like
think she
now
did.
she can't come from one room to the next and tell you about it because you're not in the same place anymore.
Joe says it's not my light.
It's not
Nickelback.
my light.
Where's Matt?
Yeah, where's Matt? I don't know. I didn't even see Matt on Facebook today at all.
I sent him a message telling him I was going to be on. He said he shared the stream, so
It's
I'm
too
resting.
cold for me to walk out where he is. Well, you can still tell us what it's about.
The turtle?
Yeah.
I have no idea. No idea. None.
And she said it's too cold for her to walk out to where you are, but she's still
Uh,
not telling us anything about it.
I think she did this before with somebody else. Maybe it was Bill or something. It's not really something at all. She just makes it up. She just comes on to disrupt, and then she'll go back to sleep.
Oh, Matt might have went home for the holidays. Okay. Well, I know he was on Facebook yesterday. So it was Bill, she said.
That's what I thought. I thought that it was somebody else that she did that to. But,
I think you got a few people ganging up on you in here, eh, Josh?
I wouldn't expect any less.
Yeah. Now, if Justin was here, you'd never hear the end of it, right?
Yeah, yeah, he'd have his own stabs at me too. I'm sure.
Mm. I wonder if
Oh, there's Matt. Matt's on there now.
where is he? I don't.
It says hello, everyone. Devil's Hour
Hey, Matt.
Productions.
Yeah,
I sent him.
it's
I
just
sent him a message and told him that Joe keeps mentioning Nickelback, so he jumped on right away. He's
yeah.
got a
He said it twice now.
yeah.
Twice.
That's got to be what, at least 2 weeks per mention.
If not more.
He's already at a month, so
Uh-oh.
we're looking at February now.
Uh-oh. Better stop, Joe. You're gonna get Matt mad.
But this is the if I can, yeah, this is the helmet here that he wears in the film, in the Harrisville haunting
Right
film.
on.
So I have the same helmet that I'm using for the new light. But it's getting closer. But I've been working on it for 2 weeks now.
Well, Josh, if you look in the chat, he said it 3 more times. So that's 2, 4, 6. That's a month and a half right there on top of it, eh?
Yeah,
This Nickelback.
buying me time. It's buying me more time for to get it right. I don't feel rushed anymore now that it's not going to be done until March.
Yeah, so Joe, you can keep on saying Nickelback as much as you want. It's not going to make a difference now, I don't think. Oh, jeez. So you guys went on an investigation.
Yeah, we
Um,
joined state paranormal at Old Lincoln County Jail, and they did some live streaming and stuff while they investigated. We also got some shots that we needed for the new day promo, which is going to be released soon. It's all done and looks great. I'm happy with it.
right
Justin
on.
did a really good job on it. But we got some shots at Old Lincoln County Jail to kind of finish up what he needed for his vision for the promo. So
Nice. Nice.
we're gonna release it. I still have to do my 5-year anniversary giveaway too. It might not be until January, but we're still gonna do it. We'll give away some merch, give away some
Oh,
couple,
nice. Right
couple
on.
hats, couple shirts, and then I'll probably give away a light as well.
Nice. And that's when?
So it'll
January
probably
or
be
February?
it'll probably be sometime in January, yeah.
Right on. Right on.
But I hope to
That's
have
cool.
a couple things built that aren't for a customer. I don't have uh, much of an inventory. I have some lights for display, which isn't enough. But I'm hoping to have a couple other things there's some other things that I build that aren't infrared lighting. I started building what I call a motion sensor string. So it's a long string of motion sensors and LED lights that you can stretch down a hallway. It has its own power source. You just connect everything together. You can split the string up as long as you have other battery packs.
Oh, right
So,
on. That's
mhm.
cool.
so it's five
Nice.
sensors. If you put it all together, it's 5 sensors and 5 LED strings. So each sensor has an LED string, and you can stretch it out or
Those are
split
the
it
ones
up.
that you can put on the floor. You
Hmm.
stretch them out across the floor or something, right?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
and
Right on.
the whole thing put together is about 15 feet long.
Wow. Wow.
So, and then I make it's a motion sensor panel, but it uses a different kind of motion sensor. It's a close proximity sensor, so you have to be really close to it to trigger it to set it off.
Nice. Nice. So I'm gonna ask you a question that most investigators get asked.
Mm-hmm.
What got you into the paranormal?
Actually, it was a friend of mine. This was 2004, 2005, somewhere around there.
Hmm.
A friend of ours owned a bar, and another friend of mine lived upstairs, so it was kind of convenient. We would go there, and it was cheap. Food was good. Our buddy owned it, so of course we uh, supported his business. Um, but we would go there, and just got to talking to one of our other friends that always joined us out there, and he started talking about it and decided to show us one night. So we would wait until the bar closed, and then we would investigate the bar because the bar supposedly had some claims of activity. So and we did have some experiences there. Uh,
Hmm.
some of them, upstairs, some of them in the bar. Um, but once he showed me, it was kind of hooked. And then, noticed that there was shows out about it, and I started watching the shows. And just like a lot of other people, once they see the shows, they want to have all the gadgets and stuff that they're using because they can
Yeah.
see, they make it look like they can, it's real easy to communicate. And what you find out quick is that it can be very boring. It can be very quiet.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, uh, so some of the experiences that we would have is, uh, his computer would turn on and turn off by itself.
Wow.
There were times where you could hear footsteps. You could go into the bathroom and shut the door, and if you waited a couple minutes, you could hear the door open. It would unlatch, and then the door would come open.
Oh, wow. Is this like an older building?
Yeah, and there was supposedly some deaths, and supposedly part of the Underground Railroad. I never researched it. I didn't look it up to see if any of that was true or if any of it was on record. But there was a fire. Part of the upstairs. I think the building might have been taller at one point, but it was only 2 stories tall whenever our friend bought it. But there was one time where I was sleeping on the couch, and when you walk into the apartment, there's the living room, and I was on the couch there up against the wall immediately to the left when you walk in the door. Well, if you walk left past the couch, you walk through the doorway into the kitchen, and then right off of that to the left is the bathroom. But if you keep going straight, it was my friend's bedroom, and then there was another bedroom on the other side from like kind of opposite the bathroom. But one time he had left his cell phone on one of the end tables in the living room, and I guess he had an alarm set, and I thought the phone was ringing, but it woke me up, and it kept going off and going off and going off.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, is he going to get this thing? And I heard footsteps come out of the bedroom through the kitchen, and then they stopped, and then the phone kept going off. So I got up and shut the alarm off, and he wasn't anywhere. So I walked to the bedroom, and he was still sleeping. So I heard footsteps, through the kitchen toward the living room, and never saw anybody.
But it wasn't him. Wow.
No. We come back from we would go other places too, and one night we had gone out and come back, and his apartment door was wide open, and it was the only thing to keep it closed was the deadbolt, because he had to break into it at one point, and he took the doorknob out to break into the apartment. So the only thing he had was the deadbolt, and it was nobody could get there from the bar. There was a door at the bottom of the steps before you went up to the apartment. There was a door there that was locked, and then when you got up to the top of the steps, there was his apartment door, and that was locked. That was always locked. So when we got back, the door was wide open.
Oh, wow.
So there was nobody else that could have opened it, but it was a pretty neat place. We had a lot of fun there over the years, and
did you ever find out like who it might have been? You never got any names or anything?
No, we had we had some other stuff going, but it wasn't anything that's not normal. I never saw any apparitions or anything like that there, but that's how we got started. And there was actually a prison close by, it was probably about 15 minutes away. And I got in a group. I joined a group with a few others, and one of the women in the group, her mom worked for the county, so she had access to the prison, which they only used for keeping records and stuff like that. It was kind of like a storage place. But it was on when Nick Groff and Katrina had that one show. They were at that prison. It was the Evansburg prison. I forget what it was called, the name of the show.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I can't think of it. It didn't last for that long, did it?
Mm-mm.
The show with that.
But we
she's investigating. What's her
Mhm.
name? What's his name?
Yeah.
Jack Osborne now.
Josborne.
Yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, this was they would
Yeah.
sleep at this location for like 2 nights or something like that, and um, it's kind of funny because this was back in 2007, maybe 2006. Then we went to that prison a lot. We went there quite often, and so when Nick and Katrina's show came out, this was a few years back. So it had already been 10, 12 years, 13 years maybe after we had gone there all the time. And I remember watching that. Yeah, Paranormal Lockdown, Joe said. He knows all the shows.
Yeah.
But but
He
in the
doesn't like
beginning of the
any of them
show,
either.
he loves them secretly. But you could see,
He
in
loves
in the
Nickelback
beginning of the
too.
show, the beginning of the show, that
I had to throw
Nick
that
and
in.
Katrina, yeah, Nick and Katrina walk into the prison, and Katrina says, "This is the first and last time that this place will be investigated." And I found that funny because 13 years ago I was there all the time, investigating,
Yeah.
and uh, and I'm pretty sure that it's probably been investigated after too. But it kind of shows that they say things and do things
Yeah.
sometimes just to kind of amp it up
Hmm.
and make everybody think that they had special special access to a location, which they did not.
Mm.
But
That's what I
but
like
it
about
was
you guys. When you guys go in to investigate, like you guys are like totally genuine. You know what I mean? Like there's no show put on or anything
hmm,
like that. You guys are just yourselves. You don't
mhm.
try to, be like a lot of them do, put on a big show and everything like that, right? You know. And that's what drew my attention to you guys when I first started watching you.
Yep, and
I'm
you've
over here in Northern Ohio.
Northern Ohio, yep,
Northern Ohio, yep.
yep,
Yep.
and Jess is from Southern Canada.
Southern Canada, that's it, yeah. Nah, for sure. What's Joe saying here? These paranormal shows make up quite a few things. If you're a paranormal investigator, and I'm one of those, and I'm one of those shows for a minute, they don't acknowledge you as an investigator.
I remember Joe was in that one show at
Yeah,
when they were at the dam. It was Kindred Spirits.
yeah.
I don't normally watch them, but if I know that somebody that I know is going, or a customer of mine is going to be on the show, I will watch just to
Mhm.
support them. But I don't.
What's your feeling about some of these shows, these paranormal shows on TV? Are you for them or against them? Think they're just
I'm not for or against them. But they can affect the paranormal community in a way that isn't that may not be right. They have
Mhm.
there's a lot of gadgets out there that really don't, in my opinion anyway, that don't uh help you with anything. They're just like novelty objects or
Yeah,
gadgets. There's
yeah.
things that uh maybe a good concept, maybe somebody just kind of brainstorming and comes up with something, and that's great to create because that's how I got started. But
Mhm.
there's nothing that I build that I will say does something that it really doesn't. Maybe they believe that it does, but there's a lot of people that that can test those devices and be able to tell you that no, they do not. And nothing proves the existence of ghosts and spirits, as far as an electronic device anyway. It's not
I have
something
to agree with
that's
you
proved.
there.
So
Yeah, yeah. Um, we all know what Justin's opinion of this certain thing is.
Mhm.
Wondering what your opinion is on the SLS.
Well, after watching, his explanation of it, and then also watching a video, I think Kenny Biddle did a video on it too. It's just, I side with them. I think they have, knowledge of how it works, and um, I don't believe that it's something that should be used. But to each their own. I'm not going to put somebody down because they're using something that I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Like a lot of people, they're all for it, and I've never used one, but I'm like a lot of other people. I think that it misleads you.
You can,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's focusing on something,
Hmm.
and people are going to think that it's a spirit standing there, when in actuality it could just be focusing on something that it's pointed towards, like a chair or a
Hmm.
pole or something like that. And then you automatically get like a stick figure out of pretty much everything that you see on it. I just think it's misleading. But I mean, that's just my opinion. And I'm like you too,
Just
basically. I'm not going to put somebody down because they like it, they enjoy using it, just because I don't think that it's really doing anything.
yeah. Joe said that it's stuff like that is great for TV and YouTube.
Mm, yeah, but I see so many people on YouTube that use it, like a majority of
Hmm.
the people I've watched have used it, you know.
Well, I
But
mean, do you want to watch a video where people are just walking around and joking around with each other and or trying to investigate, and absolutely nothing is happening, which is what happens a
yeah.
lot. There's
Hmm.
there's a lot of times where there's nothing going on at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's with TV, you can't show what it's really like, because most of the
Hmm.
time it can be very boring. So you need to add things to the show. You have you amp it up with fake stories and
Hmm.
false claims, and
Yeah.
then make up your own. I'm not saying they don't capture anything that could be but there could potentially be paranormal, but I would say most of the
Hmm.
time it's something that's um, made up.
Just added on to it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, this is something visual, even it's nothing.
Mhm.
Sorry, I think some of the chat's coming through a little slow here on StreamYard. Think I'm missing some of it.
I have I have the show brought up on YouTube, so I can see uh, the comments as well.
Okay.
And Joe's the only one talking. Joe scare
Yes, he's
Joe,
the only one
Joe,
saying something.
Joe scares everybody away.
Matt was here. I guess he left. Joe must have scared him
I
away.
think he got on there long enough to kind of say hello, and that was about it.
Yeah, I think Joe said that he's well, I knew he was going to his mom's for Christmas, so he's probably just, yeah, like you said, just came on to
Yeah,
say
he was
hi and
going to
bye.
Missouri and then to Indiana.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, that's where his mom lives, in Indiana, right?
yeah,
Okay. Do you and the team have any other places set up to go investigate?
we do not. We don't have any plans. I plan on going to uh, the Battlefield Bash, the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, in July. That's the only thing I have planned for next year. That's actually planned. I mean, some other stuff may come up. So um, most of the time, I go on few trips other than see family and things like that. But um, I haven't planned a whole lot of trips since I get so busy with the lights and everything, so I try to, stay at home so that I can get some lights done and shipped out. But um, typically, I the weekend is usually when I get most of the work done on the lights because I work full time. So I just have the evenings to work on lights, and when I get to the weekend, that's when I work the whole weekend trying to uh, get what I started at the beginning of the week all finished. So if I go somewhere, it's going to be on a weekend, and when I lose a weekend, I lose quite a bit. I get some things started, but I don't get to finish until the next week, and then it can kind of throw me off. But um, so I just have
Yeah,
to
because like you said, it's
work
time
around it.
consuming.
Hmm.
It's very time consuming to make them. Yeah. You want to be
Yeah.
able to start and finish.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. I'm a very routine person, so I have a routine, and whenever something messes that up, then it kind of throws me off. And um,
Mhm.
so if I don't get done whenever I normally get done, then it goes into the next week. So, it goes into the next week, and that's when I sort of started on some other orders. So that kind of throws me off a little bit. But um, you can't always put this first. There's family, there's home projects, I work overtime at work sometimes, or I work on call and have to work. Those kinds of things. When that kind of stuff comes up, then you do that
Mhm.
first, and then shop second. But but I go as fast as
Yeah.
I can. I try to get it done, get orders filled as fast as I can, and sometimes parts take a little longer to get in than others, and um,
Has
it's
it
kind
been
of
difficult to get parts lately because of COVID? Has that affected the shipping at all for you?
no. Actually, it's about the same, other than prices going up uh, a little bit. Um, I did have a certain part for the necros that I'm running low on, and I went to my supplier, and they don't get them anymore. So I had to find a different supplier, and I'm waiting on uh, a sample to come so I can test it. And if it tests good, then I can go ahead and bulk order, and then I won't have to worry about those for a long time, for at least a couple years, 2.5 years maybe.
Oh, that's good.
So I won't
That's
have to
good. If
worry
you can
about
get an
those.
ample supply that you don't have to
Mhm.
worry about, that's really good. Right on.
Yep, and they were willing to work with me. They actually don't make that part the way I normally get it. So they are custom making it. They're making changes to some of their stuff in order to accommodate for that. So, and they're the only ones I've found so far that was like that can actually get me this part. And it's not something very common. Like other versions of it are very common and a lot cheaper to get. But what works with the lights and things that I've tested, this works the best. And I've tested other ones. I have some other ones here to test, but chances are they're not going to be the same. And if they're not at least the same or better, then I'm throwing it out. Then I won't use it. Um, so I have to wait for the sample to come in. Once the sample comes in, then I can give them the go ahead to do the bulk order, and then so it'll take a little bit of time to get in. I just hope it doesn't. By the time I need them, I hope that they're here.
Yeah, I guess just the waiting in general, makes it difficult when you want to get something done, but
Hmm.
you have to wait for the parts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get them as fast as I can. Once I run low, then I know I need to get, I know when I should start looking and you're reaching out to my suppliers to get an order filled. Um, and some of those parts do come from China because I used to order most of my stuff within the U.S. Well, the suppliers in the U.S., where are they getting those parts? They're getting from China. So you know
Kind
in
of
order to,
inevitable, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
just like anybody else does. Um,
Mhm.
so sometimes there is a longer wait for those kinds of things. If you want that specific part to work with your product, then you kind of have to outsource it to outside the country.
Mhm.
But because there's nobody makes them in the U.S. Or I would, support a U.S. company or supplier if the things were made in the U.S. But since they're not, you might as well go right to the source, right to the supplier that
Yeah,
that has
exactly.
them.
Yeah. Hmm.
But it's still even though I'm some of those products come from outside the country. I mean, it is still and you can ask Joe because I don't think anybody's dropped or punted a light like he has over the years, and he has uh, one of the early necros. He was an early customer of mine. I forget what number he has, but still has that Gen 1 necro, and is one of the early ones, and it still works just fine. I know he's going to be sending it to me to do some upgrades on it. I was going to upgrade it with the Gen 2 stuff and make it perform better and be a little more durable. But uh, he's been rough with it, and it still works great, and he loves it. So
Oh, that's good.
that that makes me happy.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. If he can, use it to death and it still works good, that would make you feel pretty good to know that for sure. For sure. Um, Out of all the places that you've gone investigating, is there any particular places that stick out in your mind that were, let's say, maybe more memorable than other places?
Um, yeah, we always enjoy going to Old Licking County Jail. We've become good friends with the people that run the paranormal side of the jail. Uh, all of the places that I've been to were all a good experience. I liked them, even though some of them were quiet or nothing happened or we didn't experience anything. Um, it's a combination of things uh, that makes it worth going. And the paranormal is for me is kind of it's like last. I like doing the photography. I like filming. I like doing the drone work. And then after all that stuff is done, then we investigate. So, and it's coming together with friends that you like to be around and hang out with, and go out to eat and all that stuff. That's all part of the whole experience, and then you get to experience the location. Um, I like
You
all that
guys are like
stuff.
one big family anyway,
Yeah, and I like all that stuff.
you know.
Uh, Before we even investigate. All that stuff happens before we even investigate. And when we investigate, we're filming. And when I like to film, I like to film that kind of stuff. So, uh, the paranormal is kind of last when it comes to going to a location, which may sound weird, but when you're doing all those other things and you're having a good time doing those, you enjoy doing those, then um, it doesn't sound so weird, to me.
Yeah, well, you guys shoot a lot of B-roll too, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
you guys are doing a lot of that as well.
the last one that we went to as a group just by ourselves was I believe it was Indiana State Sanatorium, and we were also filming stuff for the Deadlight promo and getting some test footage with the lights using different cameras and things like that. And that's a really cool location. I definitely want to go back there. But we weren't filming for a documentary per se, but it's it wasn't like the other locations where we have this huge production meeting where we're talking about what we're going to do, the shots we're going to get, stuff like that. It was more we just showed up, and I didn't get to fly the drone because it was either rainy or too windy. And then of course it got dark. We were only there one night, but we got to walk around during the day. I got to take pictures. We got to hang out. We got to do all kinds of things, and it was a really cool place. So I would definitely go back there.
Right on. I remember watching you guys. You were doing a live somewhere, and I can't remember where it was. This was, I think this was a couple of years ago. But something had happened to you. I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't remember where it was, but I know it was a couple of years ago. You guys were at a place where something had happened to you, and I don't. Do you have any idea of where I'm talking about? Because, like I said, I can't think of the name.
You think Madison Seminary?
It could have been. It could have been Madison Seminary. Yeah.
I had something happen there, and Thornhaven Manor. That was even a couple of years before that. I had something happen to me there. It doesn't happen often, and I don't experience as often as everybody else. But I mean, that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. You can't you can't make them do things.
No.
But I keep an open mind. But I'm more on the skeptical side than.
Okay.
It's kind of like I believe it's there, but obviously can't
show me the proof kind of thing.
There's no way to prove it, but I like having the personal experiences. That's another reason why I go to these locations too, because I like to have the personal experiences.
Yeah, I miss investigating. I need to get out, but all the
you gotta
places
come down
I
to
want
the
to go
States.
to are in the U.S. What's that?
Well, come on down. I mean, you're practically in Ohio.
Yeah. Well, where I am, I think the closest U.S. border to me is New Hampshire. I think.
Oh, you're over on the eastern side then, huh?
Yeah, because I'm only like an hour, maybe an hour and a bit from Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
So when I looked to see the closest border to like my last place where I lived, I'm pretty sure it said New Hampshire. Yeah, it's a long walk to the U.S. from northern Ohio.
Yep, you're missing a lot being up there in Canada.
Oh, I know. Like I want to go to the Hinsdale house. That's been on my bucket list for years now.
Yeah, it's a tiny house, but there's a lot of stuff going on outside too.
Yeah, you guys have been there, haven't you?
No, not as a group. I was there because I was in New York working at another site, and I was only about an hour away from Hinsdale. So I contacted them and talked to Daniel, and I said, "Hey, I'm up here for work. I don't come up here very often, but I found out I'm only an hour away. I asked if he gives tours or whatever, just so I could check the place out. But he just happened to be having a small event. I think there was only 10 tickets available for that Friday. So I went
priced too. Yeah, he's
I don't remember how much it was for the event, but it was all night, and I drove out there and then drove back to the hotel. But
right on.
But it was a cool.
I don't know.
Experience.
I don't know what your woman's talking about here. I seen what you did there, Josh.
Oh, probably talking about Ohio and Canada.
Oh, well, Justin started that.
I think that was me.
Oh, you started in Northern Ohio?
Yeah, because I always tell Jess she sounds Canadian, and then you confirmed it that being Canadian, she also sounded Canadian to you, which was huge validation for me. So I'm not crazy. She is. I don't know how she can
Yeah, she's crazy.
be from Ohio and live in southern West Virginia and then have a Canadian accent. I don't know.
Ohio and Canada, she says.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. I have something I was going to ask you, and it totally slipped my mind, just like the piece of paper.
did,
Unbelievable.
did you remember we had
Um,
a did you remember we had a show today, or did I remind you earlier when I asked you?
oh no, I knew we had a show. I wasn't sure if you were still available or not.
Mhm.
That's because I like to, talk to the people, like a day or two ahead of time, but I forgot
Mhm.
this time, and I forgot with Joe too. I just all of a sudden,
Uh,
hey, are you still good for the show? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay, I'll be backstage at 2:30. Okay, so yeah.
it's pretty bad when your guest has to remind you you have a show coming
Everybody ignore that, okay? Everybody ignore that.
up.
Just ignore that.
Hey,
Yeah.
the important thing is you're here and you were
Yep.
able to have the show.
Yes, and I haven't had any issues with my Wi-Fi connection either.
That's good.
Um,
And Joe's here, so
I was using my
that's always
Wi-Fi
good.
booster, but yeah, I was finding that when I was using the booster, sometimes it would screw with the Wi-Fi signal, and other times it was fine. So I
Hmm.
just figured I'd try it. Oh, she's gonna. I'll smack him later for you.
She won't. She'll forget. If I sit out here long enough, she'll forget about it. She'll do
Just
something
get the
else and
dogs
forget
with
about
that.
it. Oh, she does. I have scratches all over me.
Raven is
Yeah,
adorable. I remember
she
seeing
gets.
pictures when she was just little. She's
Mm,
finally kind of grown into her big ears.
she's still little. She's still only half the size that our last German Shepherd was.
I think I
She's
saw
only 50
pictures of the
pounds.
one you had before.
Hmm.
I think yeah, I
Today
did. And
today was actually his birthday.
oh, really?
He
Oh,
would have
wow.
been. He tied when he's 7. So he's like 9. He would have been 9 this year, 10, something like that.
Wow. Well, how old's Raven now?
She turned 2 in July, I believe, or
I wish
June.
you had her with
The end of
you.
June. The end of June.
She's not there with you? She's in the house?
Yeah, she's out. She's in the house. She every once in a while she gets to come out to the shop. She likes to come out and sniff around and
Right on.
spread her dog hair all over everything.
Yeah, it's like my little guy Harley. He knows when I'm live. Like I've tried to get him up on camera before,
Hmm.
and it's like he knows kind of thing. Oh, just so she can bring her to the shop.
That's probably not a good idea. She'll probably knock stuff over, and that tail is wicked. This isn't a shop.
Yeah,
This
I
is a
got.
lab. We have to keep the dog hair out.
That's his lab. Yeah, yeah. I'll go to bring Harley on, and as soon as he sees another person on the laptop, it's like he sees the light above, and he'll look, and then he'll just kind of turn his head, like, no.
Mm.
Oh, he says she's on her way. I bet she's just jiving.
I don't know. We'll see. Oh, too bad we
Josh
only have
keeps you in the
5.
kitchen barefoot. Are you gonna take that from Joe, Jess? Get him, Jess.
Oh, there's only 5 minutes left. She better bring her over quick.
Yeah.
Oh, here she comes.
Here.
She's in here now.
So is my guy.
Yeah, I can't lift her up that way. Oh, Jess is gonna lift her up.
I have no makeup on.
Oh, who cares if you got makeup on,
There she
woman?
is.
Hey, Raven. There's Harley.
Put your ears.
Hi, Raven.
Let's go.
still got big ears.
Mm-hmm.
She's got big cat
Silas's were
ears.
bigger. Silas was a bigger dog. She stuck? Nope, she just wants to wander around.
No hair in the lab.
No, it's too late.
She won't come with me.
She won't go where she doesn't want to leave. She just likes to go outside. She
Bye,
likes-
Sam.
Bye, Jess. Well, it was nice to see her for 2 seconds. I haven't seen her in forever. The last time I talked to her was on Facebook Live. I was going through a bit of an issue, and I wasn't sure if it was something spiritual, and it ended up being a little bit of both. And she helped me through it, and I'll never forget her for that. She helped me out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you giving trouble to? Oh, are you telling Joe off?
No, Drunken Oracle.
Oh. Josh won't shave that beard off. What are you kidding?
Yeah.
Who was it that was growing a beard that they... Oh, Justin.
Justin and Derek both have beards now.
He'll never catch up to you.
Mhm.
Does he still
I'm
have
sure
the
if he li-
beard? I haven't...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said he hates it though.
Well, is there anything else that you could let the people out here know before we end the show? Anything
Just-
you have coming up? Or...
I don't have anything coming up anytime soon. I know I need to do the 5-year anniversary giveaway, which I was hoping to already have done that, but looks like we're going to end up doing it in January. But it'll just be a live, just something laid back, just give updates. Hopefully I'll have some other stuff built that I can show, like the new stuff that I have out that I don't advertise. I haven't advertised yet. We have to release the promo. I'm not sure when we're going to do that yet. It should be soon because it's already done. It's ready to go. And
Right on.
I make some other things. Like I made some K2 holders for someone, and I started to offer those. They're just pretty simple. It's a base with a sleeve that the K2 slides down into, or the sleeve can slide out of the base, and you can put it on a tripod. I have those.
Right on.
Of course, the motion sensor string and the motion sensor panel. That stuff is new. All the other stuff can be found on the Deadlight Facebook page. There's lots of pictures of the custom stuff that I do. So if there's something, if you order something and you want something custom on it, just ask me. And there's some stuff that I can't do. Like if something is like super detailed in your logo, that might be a little tough to do. But a lot of them are pretty basic, and I'm able to, at least put their initials or something on, on the light. So
Right on. Right on. Okay. Well, there, I threw your link back out there. So yeah, go and check out his Facebook page and check out the Deadlight. And I'd like to thank you for coming on today, Josh. It's been a blast.
oh, thanks for having me.
Sure.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you. For
Oh, we've
sure.
done video calls on Discord after Justin's show before, where we were all on there.
Yeah, I missed those.
Okay.
I missed all the craziness.
You were on some of them. I remember you being on some of them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, again, thank you for coming on, and hopefully in the new year I can try and get all of you on, like the whole team.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Which I would really like to. Yeah, for sure. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. And we will see you again next Sunday at 3 when I will have Cassie from Weeping Willow Paranormal. Have a good day, everybody. Bye for now.